The UFC was in Sin City on Saturday night as Las Vegas' MGM Grand Garden Arena played host to UFC 197. While injury took a toll on the night's planned main event, the card still provided plenty to talk about, with some highlight reel finishes and perhaps a clear-cut answer as to who is the current pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet. Let us take you inside what really mattered at UFC 197. UFC 197's main event saw former light heavyweight champ Jon Jones return from a 15-month layoff to face replacement opponent Ovince Preux for an interim title. Jones seemed a bit tentative throughout most of the fight, perhaps dealing with the effects of the time away from competition. In the end, Jones picked up the decision win, setting up a grudge match with intended opponent and current champ Daniel Cormier. How do you think this version of Jon Jones would have done against Daniel Cormier tonight?
I would have beat him up pretty good because I am tuned up to be fighting Daniel Cormier. All my techniques, the angles, my ideas. I've been working for Daniel Cormier for 7 months, over 7 months.
In the co-main event, flyweight champ Demetrious Johnson turned in perhaps the best performance of his career, absolutely dominating the previously undefeated Henry Cejudo, an Olympic wrestling gold medalist. Cejudo did earn one takedown early on, but Johnson simply popped back up and went to work with incredible striking from range, as well as some vicious work in the clinch. It was those close-up techniques that would ultimately wobble Cejudo, and Johnson wasted no time leaping on his wounded foe and securing the first-round finish. With a virtuoso performance, Johnson now boasts 8 consecutive defenses of his title, just 2 short of Anderson Silva's promotional record, and Mighty Mouse seems a clear holder of the title of pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet.
My biggest goal right now is to break that title defense of Anderson Silva, and I believe I can do it. Like I said, this is just number 8. When it's time for number 9, be humble in defeat or victory and get after it.
Denson Barbosa looked absolutely flawless in his decision win over former UFC and WEC champ Anthony Pettis. Barbosa's striking was precise, his takedown defense sound, and he never once wavered from the game plan. The Brazilian wrecking machine appears to have big fights on the horizon. Meanwhile, Mexican featherweight Yair Rodriguez continues to impress with his blend of speed, athleticism, and creativity, scoring a crushing knockout of fellow prospect Andre Fili with an incredible leaping kick. Rodriguez is quickly becoming must-watch television with his fearless approach to fighting, and he may soon become the face of Mexican MMA. There were other notable performances on the card, as James Vick remained undefeated, and Danny Roberts and Dominique Steele combined for a rousing effort that was rightfully named the fight of the night. But in the end, UFC 197 was about Jon Jones finally getting back to action. And though his win fell a little flat, Demetrious Johnson made sure fans had something to talk about when they left the building. And Mighty Mouse now seems the rightful holder of the world's #1 pound-for-pound spot. And that's what really mattered at UFC 197.